Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This video is specifically talking about the Freeman-ASIA Scholarship. The Freeman-ASIA Scholarship is for studying abroad, but specifically in Asian countries. So if you're not studying abroad in Asia, this scholarship will not apply for you. The eligibility of this scholarship is you need to be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident at the time of the application. You also need to already be receiving need-based financial aid or demonstrate a verifiable need for financial assistance. They will ask you to submit proof of your FAFSA and your estimated family contribution, which you can find on your FAFSA with the Freeman-ASIA application. If you have any questions about this, it's best to contact your school's financial aid office. I can also attempt to help a little bit, but you'll probably want to keep all of your information with the financial aid office. So if you're not a low-income student, it's not likely that you will be eligible for this scholarship. You also need to be an undergraduate student with a minimum GPA of at least 2.8 in pursuing your bachelor's degree or associate's degree at a 2-year or 4-year institution. If you do go to community college, you can apply for this scholarship as well. You also need to apply through your U.S. home campus and have at least 1 semester left when you return. So if you're a senior studying abroad for an entire year and you will not be doing another semester, you will not be eligible for this scholarship. So you have to have at least 1 semester left at your home institution where you can return and kind of represent this scholarship when you get back as well. The specific countries based in this study abroad scholarship are Cambodia, China, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Japan, which is where I'm studying, Korea, Laos, Macau, Malaysia, Mongolia, the Philippines, Singapore, Taiwan, Thailand, and Vietnam. So if you're studying in any of these countries for a minimum of at least 8 weeks with an intensive language study, you can apply for this scholarship. If you're studying abroad but you will not be studying the language, then you would not qualify. So I personally am attending Kansai Gaida University in Hiragata, Japan, and we have a very intensive language program that gives 5 credits and meets 3 times a week for an hour and a half that is taught by native Japanese teachers. It will, when you're applying, ask how many hours you're going to spend in the classroom learning, how many hours you'll be spending a week with the language, and whether you have just international teachers, Japanese teachers, or, well, your country's teachers, or a mix of both. It will also be quite detailed in the application. You'll need to list what courses you plan on taking or are interested in taking, so it's a great idea to really research your study abroad program before applying. If you have any questions, it's best to email the Freeman-ASIA Scholarships. They don't currently have a phone number. There's just a general phone number for the IIE, which is what this scholarship is a part of. It's their program, but they won't be able to assist you over the phone since it's just a general line. I had called when I had some questions, but they do answer the email very, very promptly, so don't worry about that. Another eligibility requirement is you need to have little to no previous experience in the country in which you plan to study. So for example, if you grew up in China and you're attempting to study abroad in China, that probably wouldn't work. A summer term applicant must not have spent more than 4 weeks in the country they're wanting to study abroad in within the last 5 years, and a semester or academic year applicant must not have spent more than 6 weeks in that country in the last 5 years. So be sure you do take a look at this criteria. I believe they do give preference to students who have not studied abroad before, are trying to get as much of a diverse range of students like first generation, low income, not studying abroad before, things like that, to get a wide range of U.S. citizens out and abroad. You also will, if you do get accepted, you'll need to do a Freeman-ASIA Student Impact Survey within 1 month of returning, but you don't need to worry about that now. And you'll also have to do a service report. You also cannot have received this scholarship before. If you're just planning on studying abroad but not in Asia and you meet all of this criteria except it's not an Asian country, I would recommend applying for the Gilman Scholarship, which is what I talked about in the previous video. You do need to be low income for that, and again, a U.S. citizen or permanent resident going to a 4-year institution or a 2-year institution. It can just be anywhere in the world. It doesn't have to be just Asia. So this scholarship might not be for you, but please do take a look at the Gilman Scholarship. To apply, the application cycle isn't open just yet. The application for the 2023 to 2024 year, which is what I'm doing, we're due in March of 2023, so you can expect a similar time frame. The website isn't always updated, so if you do have questions, feel free to send them an email. I want to say maybe it opened in January or February for me. And then you will need your study abroad advisor to certify your application after you submit it. They'll have about a week afterwards. That was due on April 4th. So you can generally assume around these dates it will be due this year as well. If you have any questions, there's a wonderful tab on this page for the FAQs about can you receive the award if you don't know the language of the host country. Yes, I knew minimal Japanese before coming and talked about my desire to study abroad and learn Japanese, and I was able to receive this scholarship, so you can too. Please don't let not knowing the language be a barrier for you, but I would recommend studying a little bit or getting some type of language lessons. I did an online language service where I paid $8 to $10 for a tutor for an hour, just a couple of times to learn some basic questions and grammar. You can also find a lot of free resources online on YouTube to learn Japanese or whatever languages you're interested in, and it's just good to be able to ask maybe where's the bathroom or being able to order before you go. If you have any other of these questions, you can just click on them and take a look through the list below. So there are a lot of there's some resources out on the web for the Freeman-ASIA Scholarship, not as many as the Gilman. I do not go to the University of Minnesota, but this webpage is very helpful, giving some information. So if you don't go to this school, you can find things like, again, the eligibility requirements listed here, selection criteria. The Freeman-ASIA Scholarship give preference to students who participate in a language study, enroll in a study abroad program with at least 20 hours per week of class time that incorporates East or Southeast Asian language, culture, and history. The study abroad program that are taught by host country faculty members, and you demonstrate sincere interest in incorporating East or Southeast Asian studies into your future academic or professional plans. I will say the more you can tie in the scholarship applications in your essays, which the essays are the strongest and most convincing part of your application, so being able to tie in what you're doing with your academic goals and professional goals will be really, really helpful. You want to be sure that you aren't just talking about studying abroad as a way to travel and have fun. You can travel and have fun, but you also need to really show them that you're dedicated to learning the language, learning about the culture, the people, the lifestyle, really putting a large focus and importance in your classes, and that it's not just a vacation where you're going to slack off a little bit. Again, you do need to have your financial need, commitment, and interest in East or Southeast Asian studies, and you need to have a strong service project proposal. So for me, for my service project proposal, I decided to create monthly YouTube videos talking about the Freeman-ASIA Scholarship, and then hosting an informational session to first generation and low income students at my school, to especially freshmen, new students, to really demonstrate that there are scholarships and ways available for students who are low income, first generation, or may not traditionally be able to study abroad. Because when I was first applying to study abroad, I didn't know that any of these existed. My school is really, really small. I attend Hollins University in Roanoke, Virginia, and we have 700 undergrads just about, so we don't have a large school where these resources and workshops happen all the time on campus. So at bigger schools, like on this website, the University of Minnesota, they host essay workshops, they host informational sessions, they have multiple students every year who win these scholarships that you can talk to, alums you can talk to, whereas my school did not have as many just because we're smaller, and so the amount of students who study abroad is also smaller. We do have recipients of these scholarships, but it's been quite a few years, and it I was not able to get in contact with them. So don't be afraid to look online for other resources and use other schools' resources. I did this and it was very, very helpful. Also, some resources for the Gilman Scholarship can be helpful with the Freeman-ASIA Scholarship, as their essays are really, really similar, so don't be afraid to use those either. The essays will also never ever change, so if you're applying and the scholarship isn't open, but you want to go ahead and get started on the essays, you can. So for the summer term, fall 2023, and academic year 2023, and even the spring and calendar year, for 2024, these have passed, but about the same for next year. Will probably be due around the end of March. It's just not up yet. If you're studying for the summer, just the summer semester, you can get up to $3,000. If you're studying for a semester, you can receive up to, or a quarter, you can receive up to $5,000. And for an academic year, you can receive up to $7,000. It all depends on your related expenses for things like airfare, your living costs, local transportation, books, and etc. It is important to remember that these scholarships are taxable, so just make sure to keep all of your receipts and create a budget sheet if you can, because if you're not just using it for things like textbooks and costs related directly to academics, I believe it is taxable. So if you use this scholarship for your airplane cost and your food cost, that will be taxable. So do try to keep your receipts and try to at least keep a little bit of detailed budgeting on what you're spending it on. The application is all online, and you will need to upload your official transcripts, and again, you will need your study advisor to certify your application. So another wonderful resource is this page on the University of Idaho. Again, I don't attend this university, but it's helpful to again see any eligibility questions, application procedure questions. There will be 2 essays that you have to write. The first essay is the statement of purpose essay. This essay is all about who you are, why you want to go abroad, how you're going to tie it in with your future career goals and academic goals. So for me, I really talked about how my school is really small, as you know, and we don't currently have a history professor teaching any type of Asian history, as we're just lacking the faculty. So one of the things with this program being an Asian studies program is I can take many history courses and culture classes and come out with an Asian studies certificate at the end of it, to add on to having a more diverse and wide range of history. Also, my other major is education, so I am able to spend time in the classroom. I was able to go to a local middle school, work with middle schoolers, and talk about a research project of implementing new educational strategies that Japan uses that could be helpful, and ways to bring them and transmit them to the US. So big goals like that you can tie in your essays and really show that you are dedicated will help. You want to convince them again with very concrete and strong goals. Your follow-on project proposal will be again talking about what you're going to do to basically represent this scholarship. They are giving you financial aid, money, assistance to study abroad, so in return, what are you going to do for them, and how can you represent them? So for me, I chose to do it digitally in these YouTube videos, in a monthly series, and then also when I return to host, I believe, 2 workshops for first generation and low income students, presenting this information, especially freshmen who come in not knowing that any of these things are available and it's just hard to find. It would be great if you can talk to freshmen, go ahead and get them thinking about study abroad, and as older students as well, but let them know that it's at least possible if you are not someone who typically would be able to afford study abroad. If your parents cannot support study abroad, you can't support study abroad, things like that. My family was not able to help me, and I live with a single mother, so it's a lot harder, and even with working 2 part-time jobs, like, there's no way I could have afforded study abroad on my own. So these scholarships are here for you, to help you. They want to assist you, so the bulk of deciding your application is in your essay. So do be sure to put as much time and effort into your essays as you can. I also asked a lot of people to read over my essays. I was able to ask someone in my department, a history professor, to read over my essay, my advisor, a librarian, to high school teachers, and I also visited my school's writing center. So if you're able to, please do visit your school's writing center just to get at least a few eyes on your essay. The students will have strong suggestions and really help you improve your essay. You will need to get certification again from your study abroad advisor and financial aid advisor and submit your transcript, again with those same requirements. So these websites are helpful. So you can kind of see here my application. My login has expired. I'm so sorry about that, but my study abroad advisor submitted my recommendation. I had to submit the cost of attendance at Hollins University. I had to submit my current transcript, financial aid award letter, and student aid report. So you'll need to submit all these documents along with the scholarship. So that's pretty much a very short overview of just eligibility, general essay overview, questions, things like that, who this scholarship is for. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to send me an email, leave a comment on the video. I'll attempt to help you however I can. Again, this scholarship isn't open yet, but the essays will not change, so I would suggest kind of getting ready to start on those essays. I'll leave a link in the description as well, I believe from Syracuse University. It's a PDF for the statement of purpose essay and the follow-on service project essay that really breaks down the prompts into specific question that makes you think about each step individually. I think that will be helpful to all of you. It is for the Gilman Scholarship, but the essays are almost the same for the Freeman-ASIA one, so you can definitely use that. I was able to use the Gilman resources to help with this scholarship. I did receive the Gilman Scholarship as well, so don't be afraid to apply for both of these. Again, let me know if you have any questions, and I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching.